Are you planning to install an inverter? One wrong move can destroy your equipment or put your safety at risk. These are some of the common mistakes you should avoid before installing an inverter. Mistake number one: undersized inverter. The first mistake is buying an inverter that is too small for your loads or appliances. Now, if your total loads, you have your total loads, they are like 3 kilowatts. You need an inverter that is higher than 3 kilowatts that can handle the total power of those loads. If your total load is 1 kilowatt, you need an inverter that is higher than 1 kilowatt so that the inverter will be able to handle those your loads. For example, this is their 6 kilowatt hybrid inverter. The maximum power of this inverter is 6 kilowatts or 6,000 watts. Connecting loads that are higher than the rated capacity of this inverter will make the inverter to shut down during operation because it will be detecting overload. It's like, using a small car to tow a truck. You know what that means. So always properly size your inverter so that it will be able to power your loads conveniently without shutting down. You also need to take into consideration loads with starting power or surge power, like your refrigerators or your water pumps. They have starting power. So all inverters, they have that ability to withstand that starting power, but they also have a limit. So you should look at the load and your inverter to know if your inverter can handle the starting power. Like this inverter is 6 kilowatt, the starting power is times 2 of its rated power, which means it can handle surge of up to 12,000 watts within a few seconds. So the starting power should not exceed 12,000 watts because that will also make the inverter to shut down. So always properly size your inverter so that it will be able to carry your loads comfortably. Now, if this is 6 kilowatt and I connect loads of 7 kilowatts or 7,000 watts, this inverter will definitely shut down. Now, when I say connect loads, you may have water pumps, you may have air condition, you may have what's it called? You have water heater, you have blenders and the rest. Their total combined loads, for example, you want to use all of them at the same time. Their total power at that moment should not exceed the total power of this inverter. You may have different loads, but most times we don't use those loads at the same time. Maybe when you're pumping water, your air condition will be off, or when you're doing or another thing, other loads will be off. But when you have high loads that you want to make use of them mostly during the day, because you can connect many solar panels to this hybrid inverter. So during the day, you want to make use of the sun to power most of your appliances, heavy appliances. Those heavy appliances, at that moment that you're powering them during the day, they should not exceed the rated capacity of your inverter. Whether it is 6 kilowatt, it is 10 kilowatt, or it is 15 kilowatt, their total power, your total power consumption should not exceed the total power rating of the inverter. The number two mistake is poor battery match. Not all inverters can work with all batteries. For example, your lithium battery. There are inverters that are not compatible with lithium batteries in terms of charging and discharging. So connecting such inverters to your battery can destroy your battery bank. So always look at the specifications of the inverter to see if it is compatible with the battery you want to use, and also look at your battery to know the parameters, the charging and discharging parameters of the battery, to see if they match with the inverter you want to use, so that the inverter during charging or discharging will not destroy your equipment, will not destroy your battery. Mistake number three: wrong cable size. When you are installing an inverter, you need to properly size your cables so that the cables will be able to handle the maximum charging current and the maximum discharging current. That is what you are sending to the battery from the inverter. Like this one is a hybrid inverter. So I don't need an external charge controller. It has an inbuilt MPPT solar charge controller. So I can charge my battery with solar. I can also charge the battery with grid power. I can also charge the battery with power from the generator. So these input sources, once I connect them to this inverter will be able to make use of these input sources to charge my battery. Now, when sending this current to the battery, the cables between the battery and the inverter should be able to handle that maximum charging current. Then during discharging, I am taking power from the battery to power my loads through the inverter. Remember, the function of this inverter is to convert DC to AC. Convert the energy that is stored in your battery, which is in DC form, to power your AC appliances. So during discharging, my cables should be able to handle the maximum amount of current so that the cables will not overheat, the cables will not melt, and the cables will not catch fire. Like this one, the maximum amount of current this size of cable can handle is different from the maximum amount of current this one can handle. This one is a 25 mm cable. This one is a 50 mm cable. So these two cables, they have their maximum amount of current they can carry. Once you exceed that current, the cable will overheat, the cable can melt, and this will always cause fire. So you have to be very careful. And before you install an inverter, you have to properly size or choose your cables so that the system will not be destroyed. Now, you can check the manufacturer recommendation to see the appropriate size of cable to use between the battery and the inverter. Or you can get this by PDF to learn how to properly size cables from your solar panels to the charge controller, from the charge controller to the battery. You have from your inverter to the battery. You have the AC side. We also have the AC side. This is a 6 mm cable. This is a 6 kilowatt inverter. So you need to properly size both the cables, the DC cables, and the AC cables. The AC cables that will be powering your loads, and also the AC cables you're connecting from your grid, from your generator to the inverter, so that your equipment will be safe. Mistake number 4 is not using proper protective devices. That is, we have breakers, we have fuses, we have SPDs, such protective devices. Between your inverter and the battery, you need to install a breaker. This is a breaker, an MCCB. So you need to appropriately choose a breaker size that will be able to handle the current that is passing through the cables between your battery and the inverter. We have 160 amps, we have 150 amps, we have 125 amps. The size of breaker depends on the amount of current that is flowing through the cables. This is installed to protect the cables and protect your equipment, protect your devices in terms of in case of short circuits, in case of overloads. These safety or protective devices are meant to safely disconnect the equipment so that they will not be destroyed. On the AC side, you also need AC breakers so that the power coming from the grid, from the generator, will you'll have a protection between your inverter and the grid, between your inverter and the generator. So you need to properly choose the right size of breakers, the right size of fuses, and such protective devices to also protect from lightning strikes. So these safety devices are very, very essential when installing an inverter. You can also learn how to size breakers, learn how to size over current protective devices by getting my PDF on solar system sizing. So do not connect your inverter directly to the battery without installing either a breaker, an MCCB, or a fuse. It is very important. Mistake number 5, wrong location. Always install your inverters where the place is cool, there is no heat, because inverters and heat, they are not friends. If there's so much heat in that area or in that location, it will always cause your inverter, the internal temperature of the inverter, to increase, and the inverter will always be sensing over temperature. That can cause the inverter to shut down. So always install your inverter in a location that you have good airflow, that there's no moisture, and you are not exposing it to direct sunlight. So always be very careful where you are installing your inverter. Mistake number 6 is skipping grounding, proper grounding. You need to properly ground your equipment, ground your inverter, ground even the solar panels that you are installing either on the roof, you are mounting them on the ground, or on a port, carport, or on a pole. You need to properly ground your system, not only the inverter. Failure to ground your system can lead to it will expose the equipment itself to danger, and also expose the people that are using the equipment to danger. So grounding is also very important when installing a solar system or installing any solar component. Mistake number 7 is ignoring proper settings. That is setting up the inverter to function very well with the battery and your loads. The battery, you need to properly set the charging current, the maximum charging current, the maximum discharging current. You need to set the charging voltage. All batteries, this one you have to set it in line with the recommendation of the manufacturer of the battery you are using. All batteries, they have their different parameters: charging voltage, charging current, maximum discharge current. So you need to properly impute those parameters on the inverter, so that the charging parameters or discharging parameters will not exceed or fall below the recommended parameters of the manufacturer, because these can also destroy your battery. So after installing the inverter, get the manufacturer manual, so that from the manual you'll be able to know how to impute all the settings, your frequency, the voltage, what is coming from the grid, the maximum power you can use to charge the battery. All these things are necessary. Don't just install an inverter and leave it like that. No, go through the settings and make sure the settings are okay, so that your system will function efficiently. So these are some of the mistakes you should avoid when installing an inverter. If you want to know how to properly size an inverter, size your battery, size your solar charge controller, size the cables and other solar components, how to prepare a load analysis table, I have a PDF that will guide you on how to properly choose these components. So check the description of this video or the comment to get the link. Click the link so that you can download the PDF file. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next video. You have a lovely day.